It finishes then Spain 2, Norway 1. This wasn't the swashbuckling, high-scoring sort of game we're used to seeing from Spain, or maybe we're living in the past a little bit.
Correct.
Of the Xavi and Iniesta, those sort of days, compared to like this starting 11 now. You think of the team that was so dominant and successful. You know, with the exception of Ramos, this is very much a new generation, Ramos and Busquets. And I don't think it's fair to say none of them would get in to that 11 that was so brilliant. 2008, 2010, 2012.
And whilst Busquets is not, he's not finished, for a guy, he's played a hell of a lot of football in his career. He's got a lot of miles, in those legs. So that's not going to be easy for him to continue club career and playing for your country in the standard that he has. Look, the Nations League wasn't that long ago, and Spain went to Wembley and dominated and played really well. They beat Croatia 6-0 as well at home. I think it was match day 1. And then England whooped them in Seville. It's kind of a crossroads for Luis Enrique in terms of some of the old guard are still there. Quite a lot have gone, and bringing some younger guys in. But I think they're a long way off, clearly a long way off where they were when they were at the height. But where that was a very high bar.
And that's the problem, isn't it? Because fans remember that. It wasn't that long ago, and that's inevitably what they're going to be compared to.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. And look, to be compared to that particular group is a huge comparison. I mean, it's very difficult to keep maintaining these levels. But when you look at the side today, it wasn't a free-flowing side. I mean, we talked about Morata earlier. I thought going back to Spain that he would start to come into his own again. But he keeps getting these chances in front of goal. And I was highly critical when we were watching the game about the few headers that we saw. Yeah. You know, when you're in the training environment, you know as a striker, when the ball's coming to you, know what sort of a header, whether it's a glancer or whether you can just power it down into the back of the net. You know what to do. And he looks as though he's all at sea again. And it's, if they took their chances, yes. I mean, this could have been 3, 4, 5. But to be fair to Norway, they hung around, and Spain allowed them to hang around.
Gab, we're talking about this match almost as if Spain lost. Obviously, they got the win. They win 2-1. But inevitably, you look at that and you just accept now that Spain don't instill that same sort of fear on opponents that they did in the past.
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand where you guys are coming from. It's also worth remembering that, they were one of the favorites heading into the World Cup. And that the generational shift had already happened. They blew everybody away in qualifying, as Craig said there. They had a brilliant start to the Nations League as well, and that was earlier this season. I think what's hurt them is a number of players who were sort of key until that point. I'm thinking of Asensio. I'm thinking of who did start. Isco obviously wasn't there. Some of the younger crew like Dani Ceballos, who started but obviously doesn't get limited time, or he doesn't get a lot of minutes at Real Madrid. A lot of these people have been caught up in some of their difficulties of their club season. Other guys like Odriozola moves to Real Madrid, basically never plays. I think that's hurt them, and in some ways it's victims of their own success. I still think they can be very competitive once Luis Enrique sorts it out, if Luis Enrique can sort it out.